Welcome, everybody, to Why Are You an Entrepreneur? The Trials and Triumphs. I'm Maureen Edwards, the founder of 8 Simple Steps, and welcome tonight. And for those of you watching the replay, welcome to you as well. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time and don't know what all of this is about, but this is about me bringing you rock star entrepreneurs every single week to have a rock star conversation about entrepreneurship, their journey, and really for my small business owners out there to pick up some best practices, some tips, some resources, some wisdom, and some inspiration by your fellow entrepreneurs out here that are walking a very similar journey. So when I say rock star, I say it every single week. Tonight is no exception. I have Jill Olish of Mama Outspoken. She's the CEO and founder, and she is joined by somebody very special with her. This is a 2-for-1 episode. I've never done this before, but we've got a little guy with us, which I think fits beautifully into what entrepreneurship is about. So welcome, Jill.
Thanks so much, Maureen. I'm so happy to be here. And yes, we have Declan with us, which he is the whole reason why I've become an entrepreneur. So I think it's very fitting for him to be on this.
So I don't even really have to ask you why you're an entrepreneur. We have living proof right in front of us. Yes. So you have the company Mama Outspoken. But what really intrigues me is that you were a funeral director. So this is a little bit of a leap. And so I would like for you to share with people how that journey to entrepreneurship started for you.
Definitely. So by trade, I am a licensed funeral director in New York State. And I did that right out of college. My collegiate path was in anthropology. Always been very fascinated with the human body and how it works, and primarily the skeletal system. But I didn't really know what to go into after college. I was like, what the heck do I do with this? And learning about funeral rites was always something that very much piqued my interest. And I had an advisor say, well, why don't you just go do that? It kind of formulates everything together. You got both the human aspect as well as the social aspect. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So that's where my next step led me. And I was in the profession for 5 years before I had my son. And I was actually not actively working full-time in a funeral home when I got pregnant. So it's still a part-time on-call kind of thing. And it's actually become part of my family business at this point too. I married into a family who has a small funeral home on Long Island in the area that I get to work part-time with here and there. So when I had my son, I had to find something that I could comfortably do from home, preferably, as well as raise my son and still be able to afford living in New York, primarily on one salary and whatever else we could scrape together for myself without having to put him in daycare and take up the whole other salary that I would have been making. And I became a virtual assistant, and I did that. I think I was 3 weeks postpartum when I started training for that. Wow. And now I'm going to be having my 2nd anniversary with my most important client. I'll call her that. I don't have any more of those, honey. I'm sorry. I just have this. No, I know. We'll find other balls to play with, bud. Go ahead. Go get me some balls to play with, okay? Go ahead. Go find some. Go fill this up with it. Okay. So that's pretty much how I got started with this. But soon after doing my virtual assistant work with my clients, they were like, you have a little bit more to offer, especially to new moms who are trying to figure out motherhood and what to do with work. And so that's where we led up with Mama Outspoken as an offering that helped to new moms and seasoned moms who are transitioning in their motherhood journeys, whether it be brand new moms or adding multiple, other children to their family and figuring out what to do for work, whether it be shifting from going into a job and then staying home or starting their own business. And so that's where we're at with Mama Outspoken currently.
So I love this. This is why a lot of women start businesses right here, because these little ones are precious enough where we say, one, we want to be home with them. Two, we can't afford daycare. Three, we want to totally control our entire environment in this particular situation. And so I love the fact that you jumped into this. And do you find entrepreneurship to be a little bit easier or harder than that full-time structured position?
I find it harder because I am very much a workaholic, but I'm a workaholic in my set time. So I love a 9 to 5. I only have to work from 9 to 5 and I'm good. Like that is a dream for me. I don't have to worry about when I come home then working, but being now an entrepreneur, it's like work 24/7. And that is a big shift for me because it ended up taking away so much of the time that I wanted to spend with my family. So I had to put parameters in place for myself to follow the same kind of schedule I'd be doing if I were at a 9 to 5, and kind of forced myself, but really just trained myself to work only when he was napping or I had somebody watching him. And then we ended up finally going to the daycare route, but it's only a few hours a day and it allows me to get so much more work done. Where now it's more comfortable. You know, he's 2 and I was there for the whole first year of his life, now watching him grow up and being there and enriching him and only working during nap times. So it really benefited both of us that way to be very present, as well as being able to get the work I felt I needed to get done, being that workaholic.
I love this. I really love it because
I wish I had some 9 to 5.
Yeah. But I think it says a lot for entrepreneurs out there who are trying to juggle. I mean, this is real time here, what we're seeing. And I think what you said that's really important to me is you set parameters, you set boundaries where if you're going to be productive, you've got to put a set amount of time in, knock it out, and then have like real life balance with your family. That's the second part of the equation. So my question for you is, why did you pick virtual assistant, a business doing that?
I always loved doing clerical work, however basic that is. I just loved it. So that's aside from being in the funeral business, those were primarily my other jobs that I ever had, was doing clerical work, answering phones, customer service, organizing businesses on computers, like everything to do with that. So I was like, what can I do from home that's not going to take me out of the home? And sales isn't one of my fortes. I've been there, I've done it. I've done it in the funeral industry and outside the funeral industry at sales. So it's like, no, but I can promote myself. I just can't sell an item. So I was like, well, that means I'm not going to be very good at multi-level marketing gimmicks where I'm going to have to sell a product. But instead, I was like, well, how do I sell myself? And I looked into these clerical jobs that were remote. And this was absolutely perfect to go into virtual assistant work. I could have as many clients as I wanted and could balance in my time off and do things that I actually enjoyed doing just from home. So that's what piqued my interest, is that flexibility. And I didn't have to learn really anything new. I just needed to learn how.
Okay, I think
to
you
do it from home.
So what has been the best way that you have been able to market yourself to be able to reach, the ideal audience out there? Are there certain marketing platforms that you have used to grow your business?
When I first started out as a virtual assistant, it was all word of mouth. My first 4 or 5 clients were all people that I knew in the birthing industry. They were doulas and childcare facilitators that I started out with. And the client I'm currently with, who I'm on track to COO with, she was the only one outside of that industry. And she's the one that did encourage me to start my own business outside of the virtual assistant market and do the Mama Outspoken. And everything I was doing on my volunteer work with the Postpartum Resource Center after having my son was like, this is the perfect mix between your desire to help other moms as well as what you're doing with your work. And it was the perfect idea. So really the only place I've been trying to market that is on social media. There are not special apps, but there's a specific app that is for moms. It's called the Peanut app. And it's kind of like Tinder for moms, and you get to swipe right on somebody that looks like they'd be interesting to hang out with. And it's a meetup kind of group. It's a virtual village for people to get together and have play dates or at least talk. There's a forum like on Clubhouse on there where you can have these rooms and chat. So that was another place that I was able to really reach out to new moms and offer the support that I can through Mama Outspoken.
So what I'm hearing is you actually have two companies going here. You've got the Mama Outspoken moms who you work with, and then you've got the virtual assistant business clients, and one in particular that, you know, is your top client out there. So how are you juggling like being able to run both and be with your little guy here?
It is something I am learning on how to juggle, but it is all about really almost assigning specific times and days to the work that I need to. Like I pretend my office is actually me leaving my home and going to an office to get work done. So that way I can focus on more so my virtual assistant work where I feel like I'm going to an office. And then in the evenings when he goes down to sleep, I'm able to work comfortably from my couch on my laptop and kind of still spend like that, the physical time with my husband, not so much my energy time with him, but we're kind of both just chill and do our own thing. So I try to balance it out with who needs the attention when and where can I fit that into the time that I do have where I don't have him or family time.
You've got a lot of prioritizing going on here.
Like, I will say I'm still very green in all this, and there's not many clients that I do have, so it's easier for me to handle at this point. And I make that the priority is to not have 10 clients and 10 moms that I'm working with. It's more so I have one client.
Okay, so you're freezing up a little bit, Jill. So you're freezing up a little bit, so your internet connection is a little bit in and out, but I did hear what you had to say. So tell me what you would like to do with Mama Outspoken. Is there a certain long-term goal that you see this company branching into?
I would love to, offer the not just support in transitions for work for moms, but to provide almost a job resource, ultimately providing those positions for moms who want to be a virtual assistant and be able to start their own businesses or the experience that they need to branch out to start their own business. And I'd love to grow Mama Outspoken big enough to bring on new moms to provide them those positions.
Wow. I love that. Is there a certain timeline you're looking at doing that? Or are you in the position where you're going to just take it day by day and, you know, see where it goes?
I've actually kind of stepped back a little bit over the last year because it was getting, so I'd like to have a 5-year plan on taking the next step and going from there. So it is a day by day, but it's definitely a goal within a 5-year plan.
So in your position, where do you see like the best places and most up and coming places for small business owners to market their business? Are there certain platforms out there that you gravitate more to others that have been successful for you besides your Peanut app or Clubhouse app? Where do you feel like you're spending your time for your company or for the client? You know, I mean, you've got to promote the client as well.
I do find myself on the usual Facebook and Instagram more so. For the professional side, where if I'm looking for clients, to bring on and my virtual assistant work, it'd definitely be LinkedIn. I don't find too many moms on there to connect with that are needing help or are looking for that support from a village. That's going to be more so on the social apps of Instagram or TikTok or one of those places. And then the more professional work, I definitely know I can look on Facebook and LinkedIn. But of course, moms are on there too, looking for jobs. So it's a great spot to go looking for recruiting. And it's places that I've used as a recruiter for other companies as well. So I tend to stay in those familiar places on those platforms.
So is he happy right now? I don't think he's happy. All right, you're on mute. I think he's pressing buttons.
Yeah. What baby do you want?
A baby.
Okay.
So everybody that's out here like watching right now, this is real world, okay?
Yeah.
This is about being an entrepreneur and having to be a mom at the same time. And I think a lot of you are probably in this position where I think, Jill, my gosh, I'm so impressed with how much you are juggling. And so I would like for you to give a few words of wisdom out there. If somebody is a new entrepreneur and a new mom who kind of has taken the same route as you, what would you say to them?
No way.
It's not about balancing. It's about harmony. And you can juggle and do all the things that you want, but if you don't take the time to allow for everything to just do its own thing, you're not going to have a lot of harmony in your day or your life. And you gotta allow things like this to happen and be okay with it. Just take it for what it is. You're spending the time with your family and you're getting the work you need to get done and flow with it. That is one of the biggest things I've had to learn to do, is just accept that this is what my life looks like now, and I might not enjoy it in the moment, but I got it done and then we moved on from it. And
so I want to ask you what you love most about being a mom. It's hard. Let me tell you, the hardest job that you have is being a mom, not a virtual assistant, not being a part-time funeral director, not being an entrepreneur at all. Right now, you have the hardest job out there. So, tell me what you love most about this.
Oh man, I love the hugs and the love that I receive from him. I have not enjoyed motherhood. I did not enjoy being pregnant. It has been a struggle, and it has taken me 2 years to finally come to terms and be like, I love you, kid. I love him, but that is my favorite part is getting the love back from him. And knowing that he loves me no matter how my day goes, no matter how I've slipped up for him, no matter what, he still comes back to me and loves me unconditionally. And therefore, then I have to love him unconditionally, because how can you not?
You can't. I mean, this is your first and full-time job, and nobody ever said it was going to be easy, and you do not know what you're going to get. I mean, that is at the end of the day, but I have the utmost respect for you to be able to, I think it takes a lot for somebody to recognize that leaving a position for motherhood and then being able to fill in the gaps for yourself and provide for your family. I commend you for making the right decision. The hardest decisions, I think, are sometimes the right decisions, or the right decisions are the hardest decisions, right? But
it's definitely the right decision for us. And so far we've had our struggles in me starting a business and having very little help with childcare, and we're surviving, we're making it, and we have not turned back on and thought that any of this that we've done so far has not been the right move for us.
Oh, that's so great to hear. So I'd like to know what your greatest success has been owning your own business.
I think just doing that so far.
All right, that was easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a proud thing to say, like, I have my own business. I mean, it's still, like I said before, it's still green and growing, and there's really, I don't know what the future holds for it, and I just know what I wish it does. And I think just getting it off the ground so far has been my biggest success.
So what, as far as getting it off the ground, has been maybe the hardest for people out there who are just trying to get something off the ground without the distractions of having, a little one and having to juggle? What specifically has been the hardest?
Pushing the buttons, not being 100% sure that this is the right move, that I have the support to do it and the funds to do it. But then finally actually pushing the button was okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And it's really just a mind game, and the intrusive thoughts that we all have saying you can't do this or you're not good enough, and you just have to push it aside, continuously encourage yourself that you are not your thoughts, you are you, and your thoughts don't define who you are.
All right, did you hear that, everybody out there? This is overcoming fear. This is taking the risk. This is having courage. And this is not easy, but if you're going to do it, you got to go and make the decision and then go all in and work through it. So I'd like to know if there is a certain quote of inspiration. Is there something that you follow that every once in a while you'll say it to yourself?
I think it's what I just said, is that I am not my thoughts. That was huge for me. I only came across this probably about a year ago. And when I saw it, I had to write it on a sticky. I put it on my mirror in my bedroom. So every morning when I got dressed, I could see it, because, with postpartum depression and anxiety and some of the other mood disorders that came with that, it was a very tough journey our first year. And that alone was like, holy crap, that makes so much sense to me. I don't know why I didn't see this earlier, or even, so, I mean, I should have known that, but hearing it out loud by somebody else telling me you're not your thoughts, or your thoughts don't define you, like, that's gold to me.
I love that. And, I don't think moms realize the after thing. I mean, they get all excited. We're all excited about having a baby, the pregnancy and the baby showers and the nursery. But afterwards, there is a process that women go through. And I don't think people realize how, one, you feel like you've been hit by a truck physically, but second, the mental aspect of it is really hard, and nobody really prepares you for the anxiety, the postpartum depression that so many more women have than will even say or get help with. So the fact that you're even just telling people out there that you did experience it, and now I can see why you started a company to help people work through this. And are they surprised? Like, really, this could happen? This is going to be, and then going back to work and having to find daycare and juggle that, and then you feel guilty, and there's just such a range of emotions. So I think your business is just so valuable out there.
I just don't want moms to feel like they can't talk about it, because, I mean, it's either you're starting a business or you're starting a new life. Like, you're finding your identity, and there's a lot that comes with that. So why not have somebody there holding your hand through it, especially being that sometimes family can be too close to it and just brush it off. And someone else who's already been there or walked a similar path is going to be like, you got this. Let's do it together. Let's take this journey together and figure out how to get through these hardest few moments to start.
So you have two different type of clients here that you're juggling. So for the mamas out there who would like to reach out to you with Mama Outspoken and kind of get that support that we're talking about, how can those women get a hold of you?
Right now on socials, it's Mama Outspoken, and my website is currently working on transitioning. So it will be mamaoutspoken.com is also my website address that you can reach out to me at as well.
Okay.
And then for now, also email jill@mamaoutspoken.com.
Perfect. Now, you have the opportunity as a virtual assistant to help. I mean, like every type of business out there needs a virtual assistant, right? So if you are taking new clients right now, do you have different contact information for them?
Just to keep it simple, it would be the same place. I kind of wrap it all in one spot. So again, Mama Outspoken or jill@mamaoutspoken.com for email is just perfect.
I love it. I love it. So for everybody out there who needs to get in touch with Jill, I think she could be your ideal support system right now, whether you need clerical stuff and answering the phone. But I think one of her strong suits here is real world experience and being able to talk with somebody and work them through it with Mom Outspoken. So I'm absolutely loving your concept. I'm loving that you became an entrepreneur to do this to help others. So thank you for that. So please reach out to Jill if you need support with this. I think it's incredibly important and she's doing an amazing service. Jill, I want to say thank you to you for coming here tonight, for blocking some really precious time. I'm glad you didn't have to take time away from the little one. He got to join us. He seems a little bit happier now.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't speak too soon, right? Shouldn't speak too soon. So will you come back again and give us an update?
Oh, I'd love that. Yes.
Good. And then we'll see how he's growing and how he's changing and how your business is changing to adjust to him and how he grows, because every milestone is different and you're going to have to adjust to all of that too. So, yeah. So for everybody out there, that's going to conclude our Rockstar conversation with another Rockstar entrepreneur. Please reach out to me by either DMing me. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn Live. All of my socials are available. If you need any assistance as an entrepreneur where you need to have the elimination of the fear, the mistakes, the complexity of it that we are talking about, you don't have to do it alone. I take the hard out of entrepreneurship, and I always say, you don't need to know everything in business. You just need to know what works. So I hope you picked up a few things tonight from Jill about what is working out there, and you can implement a few things to help you out. If you're interested in being a guest on Why Are You an Entrepreneur, please reach out to me too. I love talking with entrepreneurs at all stages of their business. You've heard Jill tonight. She's just kind of in the beginning stages and has a very unique experience. And I've had people on here with 40 years experience and everybody in between. So please let me know. I'd love to hear your story. And I'm sure other entrepreneurs would like to know about your journey. So we are done for tonight. Jill, thank you again. And I will certainly hear you on Clubhouse, right?
Yes. Thanks so much, Janine.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.